YouTube? This is Master Vavi. Happy to see you guys once again. Season 5 is here. We're booming, we're playing, we're having fun. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. But please, come on, guys. Just hit that like and hit that subscribe button. That's gonna help a lot in this stupid algorithm, and we can move on with our lives. We're gonna name this video as The Bad, The Meh, and The Good of Season 5 so far. My friends, it had a pretty... let's just jump into this. I'm gonna show you some examples. I got a nice sheet here. Look, so organized of The Bad, The Meh, and The Good. And look at me. You guys should be proud of me. I'm gonna drop some clips, some examples in the back, and then some gameplay, just random gameplay, so you guys can... hear me out, all right? The bad, it's the obviously, we already know the obvious, where the exploits and the bugs and all that crap. We have good things on that too. They're gonna come further in this video. But one of them is this one, the spear exploit bug. Let's say, I wanna say bug. Why? Because there's 3 types, okay? There's the bug, there's the exploit, and there's the cheats. The problem is the bug is a bug. It's not supposed to be there. It happened. That's fine. Happens in every game. The problem is when people start using that to have an advantage over others in real duels, wars, and OPRs. That's the problem. That's when it goes from bug to exploit. Please stop sharing online, man. Sure, talk with your friends, have some laughs and stuff, but don't share online. Oh, how to shoot faster your bow like a semi-automatic weapon, rifle. Like, stop it, man. You're the problem with these games, man. Stop it. You're the issue. You're the dumbass. Yes, you are, and I don't give a shit or a crap of what you say. You're the problem with games, all right? Have your exploit, have your bug, have fun, but stop sharing and stop using it to have advantage over others. I'm tired of dueling you bow guys, trying to like struggling and sweating to try to shoot faster, man. Stop it. Just try to be better. That's it. Moving on. I'm losing my crap. Let's keep going. Musket, shooting twice. That freaking animation happens, but it doesn't register, but it still happens. Fire staff is doing 2 times or 3 times the damage. People are flying in the air just like you saw it. Another bug. Sword and shield tracking is still terrible. Spear tracking is still terrible. I don't know. Traps from the musket don't work. I don't know, you guys musket. Tell me if I'm wrong. There's sometimes you deploy the trap. The guy gets in the trap. That little circle purple thing is around him. And he's still moving. What the heck? He's got 0 freedom. And he's still moving. He's got 0 perks that can help him out. And he still gets out of it. So it's not that sometimes it's not working. Void abilities, don't cast. Oblivion, tether, don't cast. Ice, same thing with the ice gauntlet. Abilities don't cast. Sometimes they cast, the cooldown is on, but it didn't happen, but it registered damage. It's like the weirdest thing ever. Weapon swapping is the new struggle. It's the referee or the AGS that we're fighting in a duel. So it's always a 1v2 or 1v3 at least. Because you're struggling to swap your weapons. It's insane and it's unfair. I also feel like some perks don't actually work or not happening, but that's it. I don't know. This kill is funny. Moving on to the next one. I think some perks are not working. That's right. Elemental aversion. Sometimes I don't know what's going on with it, or they don't activate, or the percentage that they should be doing, it's not actually happening. So that's pretty annoying. Also, the damage registration doesn't seem right. It seems off sometimes, especially in the first and second day. I think it's a little bit better now. So let me shut up on that. But it was bad at launch, okay? I'm not just going to talk about bugs. I'm also going to talk about some disappointments. The desync and the lag, we already know that, especially in OPRs. I think it's much better again on this one. But at launch, it was pretty bad. Having to spend gold. Now I'm switching a little bit subject here, but still in the bad category. Having to spend gold to get an artifact, or having to buy the mats to craft an orb to get an artifact, I think it's pretty crappy. They could have boosted easily the 3v3 arenas and give it some rewards, given an artifact from the chest of the 3v3 arenas for completing an arena. That would be extremely easy, and I honestly don't understand why they didn't do that, to be fair with you. But that's the route they decided to go with. I think it would be really easy for AGS to fix the issue with the 3v3 queuing. For me, one of the biggest joys was to farm artifacts when Season 3 came out. Man, it was so much fun to grind for the featherweight. And you remember that boss? He was dropping every 15 seconds and people were just killing him nonstop. Look, I had people there killing the boss 200 times and didn't get the featherweight. And it was like, he was mad for sure. I would be mad too, but that's part of the grind, man. That's part of being awesome. I didn't like the fact that he was dropping too quickly. Obviously, maybe balance it a little bit more, but maybe not. Maybe not, actually. Maybe leaving it like that, dropping the boss, of the boss spawning being much, much lower, but still being hard. That gives a possibility for your common players to have good gear. If they decide to put the grind, decide to put the hours, they can have better gear than maybe the most skillful players that don't want to put the grind in it. And that creates a balance and people get interested again. It's like, that would be so much fun, man, to grind for the artifacts in the right way. No, now we need to spend money, but then it drops like after 4 times. I don't get it. It's too easy to get them and that's not fun. I want to move into the next category, but just to finish off the bad stuff, I know there's a lot, but they need to fix the spaghetti noodle soup that's under your feet. You change directions pretty quick, and the guy's just freaking, he's like in a treadmill, and his legs are moving, but nothing happens. What the heck is happening? Why did that get messed up? It's so much more evident now, and before it wasn't so evident. It could still happen, but now it's much more evident. So I think they need to fix that. Ending the bad category, I think we all know about the obvious, missing content, not having a new OPR map, 3v3 map, not having new gear that's different besides the artifact, not having new perks, not having a new map location in the map. Like, we all know about the obvious stuff. I just wanted to point out, I know it was kind of a disaster, especially the first 48 hours, but there's a middle term, and that's what I want to talk about next, which is the meh category that I named it. Whereas things that we need to understand, there's bad and there's good, but there's also a middle term. Some things that are okay, and they should be on the game if they're just okay. Not everything needs to be amazing to make it into the actual launch. And people in Reddit and online and Discord, like, they need to understand there's a middle ground for all of these upgrades that AGS decides to do. And some of them, you need to understand, if you don't like them, it doesn't mean that they're terrible. They're just okay. So I named them meh. So for me, the first one, the obvious one, was the mountain OPRs. For me, it was meh. I don't really know. I'm still getting used to it. It was terrible when I started playing it, especially with all the lag and desync. But it's getting a little bit better. But I think it's just a flow of battle is completely disrupted. And the biggest thing that it messes it up is something that AGS has been trying to defend for a long time. It's the solo queuing, the solo playing, where they try to please the solo guy, but now they completely mess the OPRs for the solo guy. The lone wolfing days are pretty much done. If you have a coordinated, before it was a coordinated 5 pre-made, now if you just have a 2 pre-made, you can easily dominate these solo guys because you just call him out, he brings his mount, he cuts him off, he puts a scream, he traps him, something. And it keeps going. So that's extremely annoying. Another one that I was going to say is the door. It's not fixed. It's not bad. It's better, but it's not fixed. I said it. I talked about it. And here it is, an example. This is post-season launch. And you can see the doors just not going down. The problem isn't the health of the door. The problem is how fast you can repair it. I already said this. I said this in the past. The problem isn't the door's health. It's the door, how fast it could be repaired. When they press E to repair, it should be repairing it a little bit slower. The health of it is good. Just how they repair it, it's too fast, man. They got to stop with that. Or maybe interrupt it after a while or something. Give it a cooldown of 2 seconds, something like that. I don't know. Figure it out, bro. Moving on to the next one. I think the PvP track gear, it's you guys are all happy with it, but I think it's too good gear dropping. I agree that now it drops the 695, 700 gear score. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing. But I think the perks are too good. You say no, I say yes. What's the point on crafting? Again, going back to the same point, the joy that I had was like leveling up my crafting, leveling up my skills, leveling up all that stuff. And then as soon as I reached that level of being able to craft a musket, high tier musket with all my stuff, I was like, man, I got it. I finally made it. I grinded for hours for mats, for everything that I needed to do. And now what I need to do? Okay, I need to craft. I need to go and farm the gear set. And it was amazing. It was sucked because it was hours. But once you get it, that high reward, it's just like it feels so good, man. So I think that is something that the PvP track arena, PvP track drops. It's gonna mess it up, and I think that's not bad, but it's also not good. So they need to look into that, because otherwise, what's the point on crafting gear and leveling up your crafting, right? Another thing that was on launch, this was the inventory being messed up. It still is sometimes, but especially when you spawn, they messed it up. They changed it, changed names, change the location of things, and it's still what happens now is that the order of everything is just messed up. So that's pretty meh. Another thing was the 10-man raid is too easy. That's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just, you know, it could be better. It's too easy. I think I had a good team, but it's just too easy to kill in. And I actually got the artifact first try. Another one. The artifacts are dropping too easy. Siren, I did it 4 or 5 times. Same with the chess piece, Nature's Wrath, and the 10-man raid, the Great Axe. I got it first try, so that's insane. I think it should also have some real goodies in there, some special drops, rare items. I think Christopher, check his YouTube page. He's a really good guy, and his YouTube videos are pretty cool. So check his page out. I'll probably link it in the description. He touches a good point where you could have easily dropped something special from the 10-man raid, farmable, but that would give people a reason to farm it more often, like a mini boss of the boss that you killed that runs around with you, or a trophy that you could put in your house, something like that, man. Like, and I commented it in his video, like saying people like exclusivity. People want to have something that exclusive, that they know no one else has it, and that's the thing that's gonna keep people playing and grinding. The average player is gonna be interested in grinding a little bit more often. We already touched on the artifacts not being in the arena, chest track, and then another one is, where are the new perks? There's no new perks. I also mentioned this. Patch notes. This is not a bad, not a good. Where are the patch notes? Like, I can't find it. Something detailed. The damage. Where's the damage output? It's inferior. Where's the damage increase? What is this ability taking longer to cast? Is it on purpose? Is it not? Did they change it? What's the time now? What's the seconds that it takes to cast? Where's the patch notes that they launched after 24 hours, which was great, and we're going to talk about it. Where's the patch notes on the 48-hour patch that was like, how many gigs? I don't know, 2-3 gigs or more than that, or 8 gigs. Like, where are the patch notes for all of those changes? Like, they're fixing things obviously, but where are the changes? Like, I want to read them. I like to read it. Pass it on. I think the communication was my last point here on the Mac category. Where's the communication? Like saying, guys, we saw this. We know these issues. We're working on it. Here are the patch notes. Here's the ETA for us to drop it. We're looking to drop one in the end of the day, in 24 hours from now. In the end of the week, we're going to drop another patch, and we're going to address this, and that. We're working on this, and this. We're still trying to fix it, and we should have answers in the end of the week. Communication needs to be a little bit better. That's not a terrible thing, because they fixed a lot of things. So otherwise, they would be screwed. Moving on to the next category. This is the good stuff. New World did some good stuff with Season 5. Obviously, we know about the most obvious ones, but I'm gonna say the first one is fixing most of these issues pretty quick. So, like I said, they dropped the season pass, and then they had one upgrade, one patch after 24 hours and another patch after 48 hours. And that was amazing. They fixed most of the issues, the desync, the lag that I talked about. There's still issues that are happening. There's still exploits. There's still bugs. But most of the issues where the game wasn't fluid enough, things weren't connecting, they fixed most of them. Also the perks that were bugged in the beginning, but that's not, I mean, I'm fine with that. I can live with that. But they fixed most of them, and that's a really good sign. That's a good sign that we're going to talk in the end of this video. Another good thing was a 10-man raid. I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to give it to them. It looks good. The bosses are nice. I like the synergies of needing 2 tanks to kind of spread them out. Otherwise, they'll get stronger, just like the worm, the sandworm. I like that kind of synergy mechanics where you gotta like shoot the ice balls to get everyone warm and get in power to everyone. So that's pretty cool stuff, man. I did enjoy the soundtrack. The visuals were there. I didn't have any issues. Our group didn't have any issues. People were enjoying it, and I think it was a lot of fun. People getting locked in ice. I think that was really, really good. So I think props to AGS for making that happen. Cool mechanics on that one. Another one is the fire staff. Boys, man, you guys know how hard I hate this weapon, bro. It's literally brain dead. I know there's good players that use it, but man, this weapon, boys, this weapon is just... The new animations on this weapon are so sweet, so beautiful, man. The fireball, the charge, all of them are just new colors. It's beautiful. It looks great. I like the new animations for the healing too. But obviously it needed to be the fire staff, right? The fire staff needed the most love of everything because it's really not a used weapon. So that's why it needs some upgrades on the animations. Not the void that looks like crap. Not the tether. Not the oblivion. Not the scream. Weapons that look like crap, but I mean the healing needed it, but great job on that, man. I think it looks great, so I'm props to that. I think new artifacts are also a great thing to have, but that's a little bit of the obvious that I stated. It's good to have new artifacts, and I'm happy for them. There's some pretty good synergies with them. I like the fact that they have a good and a bad now. Like the featherweight, it's all good, right? It's all good. It's weightless. So it's all good, and now you have like a good and a bad in it, where it gives you 20% more damage, but it takes your 200% of your empowerment, and everything is around empowerment. So it can be good and it can be bad, but it gives you that positive, negative side of things, and that's what I loved about it. So that was really, really cool to see the health one, where you can't be heavy, but it doesn't allow you to be light. So you need to be medium, but you get 20% more health. Like, so you don't need to put so many points on con. So the possibilities are really, really nice. So I actually like the route of the new artifacts of some of them. It's interesting. I like it. So good job on that, AGS. The hatchet is also really good. It's fixed now. A lot of people are using it. It does an insane amount of damage. It's probably going to be broken a couple of weeks, and now people are going to start complaining, but it does a lot of damage, boys. I got to say it. The synergy with the mount and the charms, finally they gave a reason to have mounts and charms, mount charms, where some of them give you haste if you get encumbered. If you get hit. I don't like the fact that if someone hits you with a fireball, for an example, in the horse, it takes your health. I think they should do that. I think it should reduce the health, the hit that you take, the damage that you take, because they just hit the horse and you get all the damage. Not very nice. So they could easily look into that, but I like the synergy of having a mount and the charms of it. So now you can put the haste, where it gives you haste. If you get dismounted, you can put the one that it summons your mount faster. So I like that. That's a good sign about having the mounts in OPRs and the synergy with it. The light and heavy attacks seem a little bit faster, although the abilities are casting with delays. I think the light attacks, the musket is shooting a little bit faster. It's slight. It's like a millisecond, but it feels much, much better. But same with the light attacks of the melee weapons and the heavy attacks. I think all you heavy boys must be very happy, because I think that was something that was needed. I think it needed some balance. And the last one, but not least, to finish it off, I think the future is bright, my friends. The future is very bright, and that's a very good sign. New World has done a good job with their C++, and I think it's giving us some hope for seasons to come. I think New World has an immense amount of potential. I already said that. I always use this line, but New World is in a good route, my friends. Don't forget about that. This season, they were working so hard to fix their coding and make it easier for them. So keep that in mind, guys. This season had a lot of positives, and I think it gives us some hope for the future and for what's to come with New World. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't give up on it, and I would give it another chance. That wraps it up for my list, boys. That's kind of it. I know I already talked a lot. This video already has kind of 20 minutes, so I apologize for that. My mother always said I talked a lot. Oh my God. Season 5, it's looking good now in terms of movement, fluidity, and a bunch. I think core fundamentals are fixed and have a good structure, but New World needs to, oh man, next time they need to deliver. If they don't deliver content next, they need to do content, and drop it with efficiency. I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you all. Thank you for the support. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll see you in Eternum.